Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some really cool stuff. Now I will warn you ahead of time, this video does contain some spoilers, not big spoilers, but some spoilers nonetheless, for the book. Don't got it. Rime of the Frostmaiden. Like I said, it has a few spoilers for the Rime of the Frostmaiden book. Like I said, they're nothing like major, but they're, could be a little spoilers. So if you're watching this and if you're watching this and you don't want to spoil it for you, like say if you're playing, but if you're a DM, you might want to watch this. Maybe, I don't know. Otherwise, you wouldn't be clicking on that, would you? Today we will be building, well, in one of the scenarios, the mission called the Foaming Mugs, or Foaming Mug, I don't know. Basically, any of you Drizzt lovers or the R.A. Salvatore book lovers will know that the Foaming Mug is basically the symbol of the Battlehammer clan, which is awesome. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. I didn't realize that until after the, I didn't realize the connection until after the game, but I was like, still cool. Anyway, you have to track down a shipment of ingots. And, probably in my last video, you saw the, snow sleds that I built, and yes, I did use those in this part. But for this part, the goblins have stolen the sled, have a, big, like, snow wagon kind of thing, really big. This is what it looks like, and I'm not gonna lie, it's sexy as hell. It's awesome. It's like full-on orcs, goblins, Warhammer, that whole thing, and it's pulled by two big-ass polar bears, which is pretty metal in my opinion. But anyway, like I said, here's the picture. Looks really awesome. Sadly though, for this build, I was in a bit of a rush, so I didn't have as much time as I'd like to get it done. So I'll be definitely tinkering with this after this video because there's a few things I want to add to it. But anyway, like I said, I was in a bit of a time crunch. And sorry, hold on, I turn that off. I was in a bit of a time crunch, and I didn't have as much time to get it done as I wanted to. So, well, as much done as I wanted to. Sadly, it didn't make it to the table in full condition, but I still finished it because it's awesome to me. But we're gonna roll onto the table and we're gonna show you just how I built this Goblin war wagon. Also, it's not exactly to the book because I wanted it to be used in multiple things. But now, definitely, we're gonna roll on the table and check this out. Okay, to start this off here, we got a bit of a. I wanted to find something that was, of a good size and such. So I found this shipping box that I had laying around from. I can't exactly remember what got shipped to me, but I had it laying around. I kept it for just in case this is just a situation. I cut it in about half. I cut it in about half. That way it'll match up. It's just a little over, almost 4 inches, maybe about 3.5 for the base of what we used. And then I hot glued on some scrap foam pieces that I had to the top and bottom. There are some gaps in there, but I fill those in later. As you can see in these pictures, I make the top part stick out a little further because there's going to be the like upper walkway kind of thing that's on the bigger side. Then I start. Then I take some foam from like some paper plates. You can get these like stack of. You can get this stack of square paper plates that I use for this sort of thing all the time, and I glued that to the top to start hiding the gap in there, and I do a nice enough wood texture. I made this top part a little too clean compared to the rest of it, but once the finished thing is done, you can't even tell. I cover the sides with the. As you can see in this picture here, I cover the sides in the same way as I did the roof, but I add a few extra things like some like excess planks to like fill in, like make it look like the goblins just kind of filled holes, and I used some thicker pieces of poster board, a foam board, that's a foam board, to make these little beams that are in the corners. Here you go. You got some shots of all the sides. I added a rougher wood texture to the sides, which is why I said the top part looked a little too clean, but it looks nice. Like I said, it looks nice in the end. I make sure to get the underside of that walkway. That way the players just don't look up and see a whole bunch of nothing underneath there. add a few more of the little excess planks to the side. I did not add a door to get in because in my games I had it to where the goblins get in through this through a hatch underneath it. So they just walk under and crawl up inside. So I didn't worry about that. Also, it kind of helped me, skip a few things. Underneath the walkway here, I add some planks and some braces out of some excess foam board that I had laying. As for the top half, like that little section that has like tarps hanging from it at the very top, like I said, I wanted to be a little different from the book so I could use it in multiple things. I made it kind of in a almost pyramid, triangular shape sort of deal. Very little hard to describe. And I make a border around it to where it's got. I put some planks to hide the border. That way it'll it'll hide some of the crimes of the speedy slop job that I did for putting this together. As for the timbers that are holding it up, I take some foam core and I run some toothpicks up them just for extra support. And I do the choppy wood, like worn wood texture on it. That way it'll look a little ragged. Here you can see I've got it all assembled and it's looking pretty nice. Very nice. Some extra things. Like I said, I was stretched for time here, so I didn't want to wait for like white glue and stuff to dry because I was being lazy. So I took some of the same sheets of foam and I did like a very rough kind of what I tried to pass off as fabric texture because there are some tarps hanging from the top, and I glued those on like so that way we can imitate the look of tarps and cloth hanging and so on and so forth. After this, I gave all the foam parts a coating of black Mod Podge and paint. Mod Podge with black paint in it. Oh lord, this is gonna be a wreck. And then after that, I give the whole thing a coating of some very watered down burnt umber. I believe that's what it was, really dark brown. And the fabric I gave kind of a burgundy red. And while that was all drying, I moved on to the bottom half where you saw those tusks, and I just took some excess wood bits that you see here, and I did like how the wheels were two different sizes. So I was lucky enough to have two different sets of wheels to do exactly that with. But I drilled some holes into that square piece of wood you saw. I think it was from a bird feeder, and I used some of these plastic jack-o'-lantern teeth for tusks, so that way it would have that, cobbled together from mammoths and such kind of look that like in the picture. I did like that. I did take that from the picture. Here you see I used some E6000 to glue those in. I just left it in that little spot to dry up really nicely. And the little white pieces there you see beside it, those are the points of the teeth on that you stick into the jack-o'-lantern, so it's more secure. But I cut those off so it would fit better, and don't throw those away because those will be in the next part coming up. As for the wheels, which we'll see right here, I took my wheels. I got these little cocktail stick things. I cut off the points because they look a little spiky spears, and I glued them in this way right here to make it look like kind of a rolling spiked wheel of doom. And then I took those pieces from the jack-o'-lantern teeth, and I glued it right there in the center to give it like a big old chariot spike kind of thing. After that was all dried and painted, I also gave it a coating of burnt umber along with a combination of white, ivory, and a little bit of yellow for the tusks. And I dry brushed all the wooden parts in a pale daffodil color to give it this rotted wood color that looks like it's just been sitting out in the elements. I painted the metal parts gunmetal gray, and I painted the windows black because I didn't want to just have those be exposed looking foam. And here you see some pictures of it finished with some goblins for scale there, and the one little human there near the bottom. Someone suffered an injury on the outside of this door. But as you can see right here in these pictures, it is, in my opinion, I think it's pretty nice. I will be adding some hatches and some ladders and stuff to it after this because, like I said, like I've said every 5 seconds, I was rushed for this little piece right here, and I wanted to just get it on the table, which it didn't get on there 100% complete, but my players loved it regardless. I think that has to be one of their favorite encounters so far, other than the Twingas. Which, if you don't know what a Twinga is, they are freaking adorable. But yeah, that's how I made it. Alright everybody, that is how I made the Goblin Snow Wagon, or mine's a little bit bigger. That's why I didn't have pictures of it next to some polar bears like I'm supposed to, because if I put this thing next to 2 polar bear miniatures, it's going to look very unlikely that they're going to be able to pull it. Because I made mine bigger, so that way, like I said, I could use it in multiple things and maybe have like an elephant pulling it or something. But if you guys build this and you want to just put me to shame, feel free, and definitely share it. Share it to my Facebook. You know, tag my Facebook page in it. That way, I'll be able to see it and just see how bad you guys put me to shame, or take it to the Crafters Guild. They would love to see this sort of thing. And yeah, hopefully there was a few things that skipping that part I was about to say. There were a few things that I would definitely do better if I had more time. But like I said in my sleds video, my player schedules are a little sporadic, so a lot of my things I've been building for this have been rush jobs, but they've been working out so far. But I will be tinkering some more with this and probably showing what it looks like in the next few days, because I want to add a few hatches, just a few little bits and bobs here, maybe some chains hanging. That would probably look good. But yeah, keeping it simple. That's I like it. If you guys like it, you know what to do. All the typical pandering stuff is down below if you guys want to humor me. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all keep crafting and be safe out there. Bye.